LPMC, became the first Liberian managing director of LPMC, then Minister of Agriculture, then left later on after our conflict. So yeah, appointed me as a managing director of the oil refinery. Then I left again, came back. Ellen asked me to run with her as vice president. 12 years. Later on left, and we took a defeat. Then we went to private business, and later on we came back. And the simple reason is that I have always said it, I didn't come to become president. I came in to rescue our country, to give a new Liberia hope for young people who are very much endowed but need an opportunity, and for market people, for everybody. So I'm here to serve this country so that this country can be recognized. 179 years. See where we are, no road, no electricity. We're here to change that story, and I'm here for that.
When did you conceive that idea of wanting to be president? Because you were
not president, as I told you. I always wanted a leadership that would lead this country by example, a leadership that really cared for it, that know the country, know the history of the country. Nobody had to tell me anything about here. I live it. I used to live in Swanee. We used to sleep on the floor there and so forth. So I know what people go through. So even as I ride car, tinted windows, I know people who are suffering, people who need help. So I live with it. So it's a passion I have, and this is something I'm here for.
So you've been president for almost, we're going to your third year. By next month we'll be in 10 years. What will you tell you the Liberia that you came to rescue? Where is it?
I want to tell you people that when I say something, I mean it. We say rescue. Rescue, you will believe people who are going through a lot of problems here. Although sometimes when you live in a situation, you live it, and the powers that be, you got to satisfy them. But we knew that people were going through hardship. You knew that people needed electricity, people needed good roads, people needed some affordable food, and people needed a lot of things, their children to go to good school. But that was the situation at the time. And it lay with me, and I said, this is a situation that we have to change. I'm a Christian. The Bible says, you who know to do good, you don't do it, to you it's sin. You may ignore it, but these young people cannot do it for themselves. They needed a leadership that cared, and that's why I live with, and that's why I'm here for. So it was not presidency, but you have to be president by title. My real job here is to make sure that we give our people life, give them better life, show their true potential. We see all the small countries around us who used to depend on us, who used to come here. Today we run into them. Why should we continue to do that? I hear even small countries, countries that we have, they say they are the gateway to Africa. And I'm saying Liberia will be the destination.
Destination.
They will pass through you and come here, and it will happen.
It will happen.
Of course. You can see it in a movie.
So the program is we have three on this panel list. We have Bavlin from LBS. We have Kevin David from Prime FM. I want to start this way. In 2017, your campaign, you talk about roads and roads and roads and roads and roads, and we were wondering, what is this guy? He's not talking about putting money in my pocket. He's talking about roads and roads. That driving force, the necessity of road rehabilitation or road construction. What is that a vehicle to modernization, to reconstruction, to making people's lives better?
T-Max, there's nothing you can do without opening the country up. You want to do agriculture, you got to have road. You want to have good quality education to reach everybody, you got to have road. You want to have prices affordable, you got to have roads. Without roads, you can't get anywhere. A few years ago, or maybe a couple of months ago, you couldn't go to the southeast. And because you couldn't go to the southeast, they would tell you how much they were paying on transportation, how much they were paying for a bag of rice, how much they were paying for everything. Today, I have been to Grand Jida, and I could have come back the same day. We haven't even gone far. But I made a few times, we'll be starting the road from St. Paul Bridge to Bow Waterside. It's going to be a toll-free road, 4 lanes. We're going to have the road going to Tottenham. We're going to have road starting from Mendicoma, connecting the road to Salaye to open up the country. Most of these young people want to do business. How do you go out there to go do business with no road? You can send a person to go to the southeast to go do an assessment. With a road condition, they will sit right here and write a report. We want to connect the country. We want to open up the country to opportunities for education, for agriculture, good drinking water. Eugene went to the southeast to go install a TV station. If you didn't have road, how you done? Today we have Koreans coming here beside road. We're going to start a national airline that will be flying to this country. If you don't go by road, you go road speed of progress. And so from day one, I say road number 1, road number 2, road number 3, because without roads, you can have development.
Pablo.
Well, Mr. President, good morning again. Welcome to EOBC. I want to ask about the idea of the arrest agenda. That idea itself. What underpinned it?
Well, I thought about something that I could sell. And it was a concept of what will summarize some of the things that I was thinking about. Agriculture, number 1. But with agriculture, like I said, you need roads. So the R there, and then the E, education. Vocational education, the classrooms, and so forth. Then, of course, sanitation. Really, we thought about health, but in a developing country that we are, first thing you start with in your environment. Clean market, clean road, clean houses and neighborhood is linked to health. So sanitation and health go together. Then, of course, the T for tourism. We have some of the best opportunities there for tourism that will create a lot of jobs in the hospitality industry, in some of the places like the Sapo Forest and all of these. And we felt that sanitation would create not just jobs, but to open up Liberia to the international. It would be an icing on the cake. I didn't want to put the to 2 hours because people would have thought that I was thinking about arresting people. But we thought about the rule of law. So they say, well, what about the rule of law? The country has to have the rule of law. So we put the second R, EST, arrest, to summarize some of the things that I wanted to do in this country. And that's what brought about the arrest agenda. And unfortunately, sometimes the arrest has to take place because this country here, everybody thought, they say that's a chopping country. When you come there, you chop your own. If we all chop our own, what will be the future of the rest of the people? So we have to arrest people who decide that corruption is the way to go. That you come one day, you get rich the next day. And so we are here to fight corruption wherever it exists, whether in the past, except where we have statutory limitation. But if you do it, we go through investigation. And you know very well the Liberian people took people for granted. There are a lot of people that committed atrocities in this country for no good reason. And we thought that we had laws to protect ourselves. The House of Representatives and Senate passed a law to say that all persons who committed atrocities in this country should go free. But they forgot that we ratify laws. And every time you ratify, you add to your laws. So they forgot that while they were giving themselves that leeway internationally, we were not free. We were being looked down upon. The people were holding us to pass crimes that were committed against humanity. And without them, nobody would work with us. So we did say that, okay, we had the true and the true commission. People confessed. The next step was to make good on those confessions. But everybody was afraid to touch it. I believe the way to start a country is to reconcile the country. Bring people who have committed crimes to justice. Make people know what they have done. Let them confess, let them repent, reconcile. And that's why we took the bold step to make sure that we pass executive order to recognize the crimes that have been committed in the past, that we will tell the world that we are ready to make good on them, and also to go to reconcile the country by doing the reburial that we did in Grandville, the one we did here, to bring our people together. You see the dividend that I've been paid. Go to the diaspora, open up make those people to know that they are part of Liberia. And after that, we had a fast and prayer time for God to forgive us for what we've done to our own country. And I don't have to tell you, I'm not God, but I don't have to tell you. See what is happening in Liberia? People feel happier. The streets are cleaner. We're building roads. We're opening up the country. That is to open up the country, not for Joe Boakai, but the future of all the people in this country, including our young people, our women. And that's what we did.
Kevin.
Mr. President, it's my pleasure sitting behind these microphones to have an interview with you. My name is Kelvin Demi of Prime FM. Every time I hear about Mr. Boakai before the presidency and even up to the presidency, I hear about agriculture. Agriculture has trademarked you. Arrest is inclusive of agriculture, education, sanitation, health, tourism, and the rest of it. I want you to pick up some time and explain to the people of Liberia on what picture can you give them on each of how do you want, by the time you leave the presidency, or Liberia to be in these specific areas under the arrest agenda. Agriculture, what kind of agriculture do you want by the time you leave or you exit the presidency? Education, what are we looking at? What can we visualize? Health, sanitation, tourism. And then maybe finally, under this aspect of my questioning, is the issue about, do you pick up some time to drive around,
see how the country looks like? Well, you know, we took over a very difficult country, and the first thing was to make good on our international conventions. We had to build relationships. Right now, we should have been elected to ECOWAS as the chair, but we couldn't qualify because of past obligation. Some of the roads you see that are not completed because we didn't pay our own obligation. And so...
Financial obligations. Financial obligations.
Well, you know financial obligation. But the thing about it is that why it is necessary to go around the country. I always say if you have a bad work and a bad case, take care of the bad case first. Otherwise you won't do the work. So we had to make the international people feel comfortable with us. Today, Liberia smells very good. But we had to do all those things. So going up country depends on what relationship we build. You need money to build a road. You go up country, where are you going? I am going up country and I plan to make country tour, but I intend to do that. By next year, when the yellow machines are in, the farmers are ready, when we build the bridges to connect, and I can go to the people with a message. See this? This is the work. We want to open up the country. So, yes, I go to places that are close by, but the more difficult places, you got to fix them up. So I intend to go around the country, but first, let's take care of the low-hanging fruit issues. Take care of them. We're not going there, but messages are going there. I haven't gone over there, but now they got TV stations, we got radio stations, and these things are where, and the people are feeling it. So when I go, it will be a matter of telling them, this is what we want to do, and this is how I want to do it. We are building 100 schools, elementary schools. We just like that. The schools are going to be complete computers. You couldn't have done that if you don't have roads. So we are doing that, and I want to tell you today, I am going to build a football academy in Boone County. We already got commitment to do it, to make our young people life interesting for them. You only got a few years to live. So I will go up country, I'll tour the country, but right now one of the good is to start going ahead the roads and things so that we all can go.
The Minister of Public Works, Mr. Green, said emphatically, by 2029, one will drive from Monrovia straight to the southeast. I'm talking about the south because I'm from
I know, that's what you're talking about.
Go to the southeast. And I'm not talking about Lofa. Lofa, yes, it's close to drive on paved road. Is that your impression? Do you make that commitment to him, or is he just talking that? Is that exactly what happened in 2029?
When I took over the Ministry of Public Works, everybody was wearing coat suits, going around, and I called them to my office. I don't stop people from wearing coat suits, but I beg you, if you want to see those road bills, you got to be there yourself. So if you don't take out the coat suit, then we may have to bring people who wear jeans to go out there. In 1 week's time, everybody was going around. We got to do the work that we have to do. Liberia is not about Monrovia, it's about people, the Liberians up country who want to just, my idea in life, I say, live simple, that others may simply live. Some people just want to live. They want to be up country. You got to have roads. So Public Works now is moving around, and I can tell you, when they tell you, I already got a schedule of what they will do next week, just like the LEC met, where he will go, and they have to keep those commitments. We have to keep them by paying up our load, The loans that we took, they are being good to. We just got good with the Saudi Arabians, with the Kuwaitis and things. The road to Lofa continue. So the road fund, we're making sure the money going into that fund will be used for road to support road construction. So when they tell you that, you better believe it.
So we're looking at, you said in Boakai, you getting the roads. Josie started saying in 2017, but EBL roads is opening up the country, like you go to ground crew, maybe 14 hours I come back, if I want to go back again, I'll go. But there's one important thing that the Liberians are interested in. It's the economy, DMB. Should I call it that way, DMB?
No,
Is the economy. Liberia, you said Niman Bakari is doing this, but
the bread and butter.
The bread and the butter.
Yeah.
How much in Lofa?
Most of these young people want to do business. How do you go out there to go do business with no road? You can send a person to go to the southeast to go do an assessment. With the road condition, they will sit right here and write a report. We want to connect the country. We want to open up the country to opportunities for education, for agriculture, good drinking water. Eugene went to the southeast to go install a TV station. If you didn't have road, how you done? Today we have Koreans coming here beside road. We're going to start a national airline that will be flying to this country. If you don't go by road, you go road speed of progress. And so from day one, I say road number 1, road number 2, road number 3, because without roads, you can't have development.
Lovely.
Well, Mr. President, good morning again. Welcome to ELBC. I want to ask about the idea of the arrest agenda. That idea itself. What underpinned it?
Well, you know, I thought about something that I could sell. And it was a concept of what will summarize some of the things that I was thinking about. Agriculture, number 1. But with agriculture, like I said, you need roads. So the R there, and then the E, education. Vocational education, the classrooms, and so forth. Then, of course, sanitation. Really, we thought about health, but in a developing country that we are, first thing you start with in your environment. Clean market, clean road, clean houses and neighborhood is linked to health. So sanitation and health go together. Then of course the T for tourism. We have some of the best opportunities there for tourism that will create a lot of jobs in the hospitality industry, in some of the places like the Sapo Forest and all of these. And we felt that sanitation would create not just jobs, but to open up Liberia to the international. It will be an icing on the cake. I didn't want to put the to 2 hours because people would have thought that I was thinking about arresting people. But we thought about the rule of law. So they say, well, what about rule of law? The country has to have the rule of law. So we put the second R, EST, arrest, to summarize some of the things that I wanted to do in this country. And that's what brought about the arrest agenda. And unfortunately, sometimes the arrest has to take place because this country here, everybody thought, they say that's a chopping country. When you come there, you chop your own. if we all chop our own, what will be the future of the rest of the people? So we have to arrest people who decide that corruption is the way to go, that you come one day, you get rich the next day. And so we are here to fight corruption wherever it exists, whether in the past, except where we have statutory limitation. But if you do it, we go through investigation. And you know very well the Liberian people took people for granted. There are a lot of people that committed atrocities in this country for no good reason. And we thought that we had laws to protect ourselves. The House of Representatives and Senate passed a law to say that all persons who committed atrocities in this country should go free. But they forgot that we ratify laws. And every time you ratify, you add to your laws. So they forgot that while they were giving themselves that leeway internationally, we were not free. We were being looked down upon. The people were holding us to pass crimes that were committed against humanity. And without them, nobody would work with us. So we did say that, okay, we had the true and the true commission. People confessed. The next step was to make good on those confessions. But everybody was afraid to touch it. I believe the way to start a country is to reconcile the country. Bring people who have committed crimes to justice. Make people know what they have done. Let them confess, let them repent, reconcile. And that's why we took the bold step to make sure that we pass executive order to recognize the crimes that have been committed in the past, that we will tell the world that we are ready to make good on them, and also to go to reconcile the country by doing the reburial that we did in Grandville, the one we did here, to bring our people together. You see the dividend that I've been paid. Go to the diaspora, open up the, make those people to know that they are part of Liberia. And after that, we had a fast and prayer time for God to forgive us for what we've done to our own country. And I don't have to tell you, I'm not God, but I don't have to tell you. See what is happening in Liberia. People feel happier. The streets are cleaner. We're building roads. We're opening up the country. That is to open up the country, not for Joe Boakai, but the future of all the people in this country, including our young people, our women. And that's what we did.
Kevin.
Mr. President, it's my pleasure sitting behind these microphones to have an interview with you. My name is Kelvin Demi of Prime FM. Every time I hear about Mr. Boakai before the presidency and even up to the presidency, I hear about agriculture. Agriculture has trademarked you. Arrest is inclusive of agriculture, education, sanitation, health, tourism, and the rest of it. I want you to pick up some time and explain to the people of Liberia on what picture can you give them on each of how do you want, by the time you leave the presidency, or Liberia to be in these specific areas under the arrest agenda. Agriculture, what kind of agriculture do you want by the time you leave or you exit the presidency? Education, what are we looking at? What can we visualize? Health, sanitation, tourism. And then maybe finally, under this aspect of my questioning, is the issue about, do you pick up some time to drive around, see how the country looks like?
Well, we took over a very difficult country, and the first thing was to make good on our international conventions. We have to we had to build relationships. Right now, we should have been elected to ECOWAS as the chair, but we couldn't qualify because of past obligation. Some of the roads you see that are not completed because we didn't pay our own obligation. And so...
Financial obligations. Financial obligations.
Well, you know financial obligation. But the thing about it is that why it is necessary to go around the country. I always say if you have a bad work and a bad case, take care of the bad case first. Otherwise you won't do the work. So we had to make the international people feel comfortable with us. Today, Liberia smells very good. But we had to do all those things. So going up country depends on what relationship we build. You need money to build a road. You go up country, where are you going? I am going up country and I plan to make country through, but I intend to do that. By next year, when the yellow machines are in, the farmers are ready. When we build the bridges to connect, and I can go to the people with a message. See this? This is the work. Want to open up the country. So, yes, I go to places that are close by, but the more difficult places, you got to fix them up. So I intend to go around the country, but first, let's take care of the low-hanging fruit issues. Take care of them. We're not going there, but messages are going there. I haven't gone over there. Take care of them. We're not going there, but messages are going there. I haven't gone over there, but now they got TV station, we got radio station, and these things are where, and the people are feeling it. So when I go, it will be a matter of telling them, this is what we want to do, and this is how we want to do it. We are building 100 schools, elementary schools. We just launched that. The schools are going to be complete computers. You couldn't have done that if you don't have roads. So we are doing that, and I want to tell you today, I am going to build a football academy in Bound County. We already got commitment to do it, to make our young people life interesting for them. You only got a few years to live. So I will go up country, to the country, but right now one of the good is to start going ahead the roads and things so that we all can go.
The Minister of Public Works, Mr. Gideon, said emphatically, by 2029, one will drive from Monrovia straight to the southeast. I'm talking about the south because I'm from the
I know, that's what you're talking about.
Go to the southeast. And I'm not talking about Lofa. Lofa, yes, it's close to drive on paved road. Is that your impression? Do you make that commitment to him, or is he just talking like? Is that exactly what happened in 2029?
When I took over the Ministry of Public Works, everybody was wearing coat suit, going around, and I called them to my office. I don't stop people from wearing coat suits, but I beg you. If you want to see those road built, you got to be there yourself. So if you don't take out the coat suit, then we may have to bring people who wear jeans to go out there. In 1 week's time, everybody was going around. We got to do the work that we have to do. Liberia is not about Monrovia, it's about people, the Liberians, up country who want to just my idea in life, I say, live simple. The others may simply live. Some people just want to live. They want to be up country. You got to have roads. So Public Works now is moving around, and I can tell you, when they tell you, I already got a schedule of what they will do next week, just like the LEC met, where he will go, and they have to keep those commitments. We have to keep them by paying up our loans, the loans that we took, pay up, being good to. We just got good with the Saudi Arabians, with the Kuwaitis and things. The road to Lofa to continue. So the road fund, we're making sure the money going into that fund will be used for road to support road construction. So when they tell you that, you better believe it.
So we're looking at, you said in Boakai, you getting the roads. Josie started saying in 2017, but if your roads is open up the country, like you go to ground crew, maybe 14 hours I come back, if I want to go back again, I'll go. But there's one important thing that the Liberians are interested in. It's the economy, GMB. Should I call it that way, GMB?
No,
Is the economy. Liberia, just like Boakai is doing this, but
the bread and butter.
The bread and the butter.
Yeah.
I was in Lofa, and you know we've been in Lofa for about 8 years.
Chima, that's one of the problems you have in development. To open up the big jobs, you need to decide the big jobs. You need to decide the big jobs. To negotiate a contract, it takes you at least 2 years. And by the time you get through negotiating, that contract will go through the legislature, they take time. We are working with a big contract. Like they put to mind the mine in Florida, 10,000 people and so forth, because we want to go beyond what we normally do here. We create iron ore, we ship the iron ore. We don't want that. When you produce the iron ore here, smelt it here, do the raw material here, that takes a lot of time. We are getting close to it. But you cannot create jobs in a country that people did not have confidence in. For the bigger jobs, you need international funding. And those things take time. So they are coming. Now, you know very well, it took 40 years for Ethiopian Airlines to come back. They all were leaving. Today, the Turkish Airlines talking about coming back. Some of these things take time. The Korean team are here. They want to build ship here. They want to take the unfinished housing bank here, transform it. All of these things are coming, but they take time. They can't do it in 10, 15 months. We have just got off it. We had to even get used to or acquainted with the situation of being in our office, get to know what obligations you have, what you need to do. It takes some time, so the big jobs are coming.
Dale.
Mr. President, in November 2015, we won our first compact. I'm talking about the MCC. And I remember through research that you signed on behalf of Liberia in Washington 10 years after we've won another compact for the second time. What are specific areas, when we get that money, what are specific areas that money will go towards?
Two key areas. One of them would be in power, electricity. The second one will be roads, infrastructure.
Why these
Of
two?
course, there will be health also. These are crucial areas. And of course, the partners that we're working with, they have interest too. So they're going to work with areas in which, and I can assure you, the money this time will be much, much bigger than, and mind you now, it only took 9 months to win, to qualify for that. Many, many countries did not. So these are areas that will create jobs. The electricity, more electricity you have, more opportunity you have for people making little short bread, cornbread, small businesses. Then in the rural area, it opened up opportunities to open up the country. Do you know how much of our resources are taken out of this country that we don't know? If people are in the bushes, we open the roads, we'll be able to reach those resources. So those are strategic areas that we need to invest in. Road, health, and electricity.
Okay.
Mr. President, I'm concerned about water and sanitation. That was one of the issues raised. Many communities still struggle with their access to safe drinking water. How is the government addressing this?
You know, to connect water from the water source in Harrisburg area, there was a 48-inch pipe. We had to put pressure on the contractor. That person was contracted way back for that pipe to be connected. 48-inch pipe is not a small pipe. Only recently we had to call the Chinese man and the Ministry of Justice and put pressure on them. You need to change the pipes that have been bringing water. These are old pipes from years back. So a lot of work needs to be done to bring water to Monrovia. It's not just connecting, it's sourcing the water. But that process is already on course. I think one day you will have the Water and Sewer Corporation man, he will tell you how close we are to bringing a major pipe. All of the sewers in this country are more than, I don't know how many years old. We need to replace them. We need to give our people decent life. Every time you go down Waterside, some places burst there, places filtered. So water and sanitation are issues that we are addressing. We thank God that today, not just Monrovia, I went to Bapolu to connect them water. They're trying to connect water in Plebo. We're trying to connect water in Nimba. Everywhere people need those facilities. Those are public facilities that we need to do.
We are fast progressing with electricity. The issue about water, sanitation is still a challenge. What are the experts telling you in terms of how soon or later will Liberia be connected?
Well, I just told you about the major problem with water is to bring the water, the pipe that is big enough to deliver the water. And I can assure you that if you bring NLE people, more Ali, he will tell you how close we are. But we are getting there. I know there are some community. I must set in my house. For the last 3 years, I produce my own water. The water I have there is my own water that I'm generating. So you must know that these are issues that we need to deal with when we talk about health and sanitation. So that the public welfare man, I think if people, water and sewer people, give them a chance to tell you where they are.
So let's
So if you just join
And
us,
not just that water, rural water as well. I have said I would never ever dedicate a hand pump. This time around when we give people water.
Why? Why you wouldn't dedicate a hand pump?
Because 179-year hand pump, we should give the people water tower and water. The people deserve that. But I'm not going to dedicate. Nobody called me to go dedicate a hand pump. We're giving the people water. We'll give people water that will flow. They can connect to their houses. That's what we
Are they being worked on?
Of course, we are putting. You go to Tubman, the school I attended, we put water facility. There is a daycare center where we put water facility there. We have installed a lot of water facilities around, even up country in Banga, different places, and that's what we do in addition to what water and sewer is doing.
Just before we go to the halfway mark, Mr. President, 2023, they said you were old, tired, but now nobody doubts your energy. You look so refreshed almost every day. What's happening? What's the secret?
You gotta go. I told you, I didn't come to the job. God running for a purpose, and He knows. But I work almost. I don't go to bed about 1, 2, and I get in the morning. And by the time you get in the morning, people in your house, you go to the mansion, they're there. But I have said that the thing that is chasing you, if it doesn't start running, we can start running. Our country needs development, and God Himself sees the need to give up the energy to do that.
So does that mean that you could still have energy that will take you up to beyond 2029?
Pardon?
Politically.
Say what?
Does that smell like there's a chance for a 2029 re-election?
You know, the way I believe in life, that's the problem with the job I have is now. I don't worry about 2029. I worry about what to do now for the next.
But what you want to do now, you want to see it really completed to do it. You don't want to do it halfway.
It's not a complete, you never complete, but we all should move the country to a point that the next person will take it and move it elsewhere.
But
That's the problem we always have. We think we can finish it, but do what you're supposed to do at the time that God gave you to do it. And when the next person comes, it's a hope. Right now, I tell you, anybody who takes Liberia go by behind people, the Liberian will resist because they want electricity, they want good roads, they want good education for their children. Don't think that you just got to give them small money and satisfy. It's not going to work that way. And that's why we want to get it, so that the people will know what they want, what they have enjoyed, and what they want to enjoy. That you're not going to fool them by giving them small things that's not what they're looking for. They want empowerment. They don't want to be beggars.
So by 2029, Joseph Nimabaga would have completed that.
I don't know about that. 2029, that day we are working toward 2029. 6 years, that's what we're doing.
So let me get back to the arrest.
If it's not competing, it's to move the country in the way that it will move forward.
They can't go backward.
That's right.
Even if the Liberian people ask you, JMP, you don't dare, you did 2029, why don't you take us across?
Let's come to that. I'm here to work till 2029.
So let's get to the arrest agenda, because there is this S in the arrest agenda. You look at sanitation, which is tied up to health.
Yes.
If you look around in Monrovia, Monrovia is truly overpopulated. So you see the garbage, excuse my description of that, is everywhere. I don't know your plans for the Monrovia City Corporation. To me, it's got a lot of work to do, and they seem not to have the resources to do that. What are you looking at in that area? Because when we talk about the MCC, if this does come, Bobby was asking the second component of it, the third component of the MCC does come, you said you largely contribute that to work for people to have something to do and to the road. What's about sanitation?
Yeah, you see, T-Max, the city is congested. They were thinking about 350,000 people. We have nearly 2 million people in the country. And you know how the people got here during the conflict. And most of the people, they build everywhere to their own detriment, because you build in a waterway, you have flood. They don't know it. And when you go to advise them or maybe to remove them, they get angry. But sometimes we have to do it. But what is happening here these days is that there is an arrangement. The Painsway and the Monrovia City Corporation are working together with a group that will do recycling. We also identify places to remove Wayne Town, to remove the garbage. Not just to get rid of the garbage, but to also be able to recycle some of those things. All the plastic we throw around, it takes 400 years for plastic to completely be decomposed and how. What we're trying to do is to find a way to recycle those. It takes money. You can't catch up with the people throwing garbage around to be able to collect. So they are working jointly to bring investment here for recycling. That also will create jobs. They need trucks to remove the garbage. They need to relocate the garbage disposal site. All of these things you cannot. As I told you, the people have to believe in the country. You got to see that good things are happening. The negotiations are going on and they are taking place. I'm even telling Public Works, every time I ride on the road, every hole I see on the main road, we got to repair. It takes time to do these things, but the garbage will be removed. The Center Street, you look at Center Street, for example. That used to be the Liberia's, but you know, Liberia, we do everything different. Cemetery is not supposed to look like that. But in Liberia, that's how it looks. All these things we got to get rid of. But we have to get rid of them in a way that people understand what you want to do. Because there are sentiments attached to those things there. So we are working, we haven't gone 2 years, and we're working on those things there. But I can assure you the garbage removal, the recycling, all of these things, before the end of the year will be falling into place. I'm talking about the system will be in place. These things will begin to, people will have jobs to remove. In community, for example, those things are supposed to be done by private people. You buy your something, you go to certain people, they get bags, they put their garbage in there. They're not supposed to be really government-run entities. But the city corporation have to work on that.
Mr. President, let's get it back.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. President, let's talk about job creation. The young people, they need jobs. At the cabinet meeting that you held in Tottenham, you endorsed, the cabinet endorsed what is called the National Employment Acceleration Strategy. How far are we with job creation, and what is that strategy will do with job creation?
Well, one thing I told the Minister of Finance is that we have to put in the budget every year some money that will create some job possibilities. But the bigger jobs come. Do you know, most people do not understand from the time the coup took place in this place, the war, a lot of young people, their parents passed, they are in the street. They are not there because they want to be there, but because they have nothing to do. So we need the job creation must go hand in hand with training them, meaning either vocational training, making them employable. Besides that, the job creation comes not mostly from government. Everybody think they got to be in. If government employs everybody, who will pay? Where will the money come from? So job creation comes in some of the concession agreements that we're signing. But at the same time, we have to train our young people to be prepared to handle a job. Vocational training. We just brought people from Tuskegee University to try to make BWI that center that will create opportunities for vocational training. And around the country, we want to be able to put vocational training in most of the counties so that the young people can learn to do many things. You sit here, who does that? Everything here is done by a technician. And they have the competence, they have the desire to do it, but we have to prepare them. So many years they've been just idle, nothing going on. You got to prepare them for that. You got to put them through schools, to vocational training school. You got to make sure that you bring companies to invest, and we are doing that. But it will take some time because every concession that comes here must be scrutinized. He must agree to the terms and conditions. There are people who want to come here to build a seaport to put, like in Buchanan, we work with the seaport there. There are Koreans right now in the diner. We have to create opportunities in tourism. It will take time for all these things to be done. So we appealing to the young people. The smaller things we can do right now, but the bigger things we have to work with international people to do it.
Mr. President,
Yeah.
we are the guys who sit on the radio interacting with the public, the locals, on an everyday basis. I know you don't get to listen to all of the radio stations. You don't get to hear all of what the people, your people, will say. But one of what has been consistent is the fight against corruption and the stewardship that people should account for in the previous administration. In simple terms, some of your people believe that you are not fighting corruption. Some people believe that you're very slow, you're dragging the fight against corruption. Some people you're doing little. So we thought that we use this opportunity to ask you, Mr. President, what is your stand on corruption?
Well, you know very well that we all are human beings. Simply because somebody say you're corrupt doesn't mean that I declare you corrupt. You got to give the people a chance. And we're talking about rule of law too, because the international communities also grade us for us to be able to win the compact. We are graded by all these things. How we stand on the rule of law, how we stand to provide for our citizens, how we stand on giving our people education, dealing with human beings. You go, someone, a whistleblower tells you that somebody is doing so and so. You don't just go and fight them. You first give them a chance for them to go through LACC, and they too, and mind you, everywhere you go, there are human beings there too. They all got friends too. So we don't just jump on people and fire them. Just as I wouldn't like for you to just, based on suspect, how long it took. Everybody was saying, oh, Sawyer fired him. They didn't know that Sawyer didn't fire me for corruption. It takes time to prove that. So we gave them a chance first. If we feel it's serious, we suspend you, and we gave the LACC and all the entities that are responsible chance to investigate you. They have to prove to us that the charges put on you are correct before we deal with that. We are fighting corruption, but I'm telling you, corruption, to be able to find corruption is not just a 2-day work. A lot of people who are corrupt are in the system. We inherited them. Some people have tenures. They sign tenures for 6 years. You fire them, they take you to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court put a halt on it. So a whole system of work. So why you think that somebody is corrupt simply because somebody told you they got it?
Finally, a follow-up to myself. We wouldn't get past this interview if we don't bring in the much publicized and talk about FOIA project.
Can we take that after the break?
I want us to tell about
Okay, no problem.
You're listening to the Super Morning Show, special interview with His Excellency President Joseph Yoman Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia. This is ELBC Radio. Again, Joe. This is the Super Morning Show, indeed. Fascinating discussion with His Excellency President Joseph Boakai Senior. My name is Bafle Kamara. I'm here with Team Max. Kelvin, you were on it.
Okay, I was in flight. So, Mr. President, welcome back after this very short break. We are concerned about the much talked about FOIA project. And I see you smiling. But some people say, let me localize it, let me simplify it. Some people say that a retirement home. Some people say that they play you one move, you do a secret building there. So, of course, the Minister of Information has spoken. But we thought that we hear from you what actually we need to know about this housing project in FOIA.
I don't need a retirement home built for me by the public. I'm going to, God willing, retire maybe in 4 years. I have a house there. Samaritan Press was using it for years. I'm going to rebuild the house for retirement. I've never taken government money for any personal use. But let's understand, Liberia is the oldest country maybe in Africa. For the republic, Liberia must now position itself in a sub-region, the Mano River Union, for example. You know Sierra Leone, you know Guinea, you know Liberia, of course Cote d'Ivoire. We are now almost positioning ourselves as the peacemakers. Up to today, Sierra Leone, besides internal province, like all countries do have, they have the Yenga province. With Guinea, that province been lingering for years. We have been involved. You saw Ellen Johnson Sirleaf cross the river. I educated her on Yenga. There's a potential conflict between Guinea and Sierra Leone. Besides that, Guinea is a military country. They are trying, I think on the 28th of this month, they'll be having their election. We in Liberia are positioning ourselves as peacemakers. Cote d'Ivoire is working well with us. I just went to Ouattara's 4th election as president. There too, we thank God, could have been some conflict there. So, FOIA project is intended to be a hub for peacemaking in the sub-region. Mada Bio can drive straight to FOIA. The President of Guinea can come to FOIA. Even if Cote d'Ivoire will be the only country that will fly. So the project there is an international project intended to prepare FOIA as a place where we resolve these crises and making them very private by the president, people meeting there, international meetings will take place there. It's not a Joseph Boakai project. In fact, it started without me knowing, because probably they knew that I would have presented it. So it is not a private project. It's a peace building place. It's a place where the sub-region can meet. Heads of state can come there in privacy, meet to discuss regional problems. No matter what we do internationally, first and foremost, we must be able to take care of this sub-region, the Mano River Union. That's the project there. You go there, there's nothing there in my name.
So who's building it? So who's building that project? Is it funded by Liberia exclusively?
It's going to be funded under the Mano River. That means Guinea, Sierra Leone, Cote d'Ivoire contribute to it.
But it's on already.
It's on. It's been funded.
Why didn't they tell you about the project?
Why they make it so?
Well, you know me, they know very well I would have resented initially because I don't want anything done there, and so they wanted to make sure. But you won't hide it from me. But it's not a private project, it's a national project.
Who did they?
Just like the way we're doing in Banga, we want to make Banga a conference center. We're building it there. Projects will go to different parts of the country. The people in the south, in the western side, they are trying to make Cape Mount Tourist Center. We are trying to make Bumi Educational Center, Bapolu Emergency Medical Center for the whole sub. So everywhere projects, that's the project for the sub-region.
Okay, but the key takeaway is that that is not your personal.
It's not a personal project. I don't want a personal project. Personal project would be, I live in my house. Next year will make me 44 years. I'm content.
The rehab house?
Of course.
Okay.
I have a farm. These are personal projects. I'm not interested in government-funded project for me in any way.
Okay. Prior to coming, Mr. President, we gauged the views of Liberians, and one of the callers said that you should grade yourself.
You should what?
Grade yourself. What?
Your performance.
Your performance.
I should grade myself.
You will get yourself A.
A plus.
Why you have a better grade yourself?
I will never make an A until we reach to where we want to reach with the country, because we are still in the process.
When will we reach to that place?
Huh?
When will we reach to, what time will we reach to
Well,
that
I
place?
may not be able to reach an A. I may not deserve an A. What I want to do is to set the country up so that Liberia will become A in the future, not me.
Not you.
Looking ahead, we will take calls, Mr. President. Looking ahead, what should we Liberians expect for 2026 and onward?
2026, we are, like I told you, we're going to start the road from St. Paul Bridge to Bowater side. We are going to build a road to Tubnamba. We're going to build 100 elementary schools. We're going to make sure that we are building diagnostic centers. One is being built now between Bone and Lufa, where people will go check their, because most people in this country say, oh, the man just dropping down, where people will go check themselves and make sure that they are well. We are also internationally in positioned. Liberia is bringing here the youth program that was with ECOWAS, and that will be now in Liberia. All these years I founded all these entities, no position for Liberia. We're going to appoint a judge on the ECOWAS court. It will be a Liberian. There will be a lot of things coming to Liberia. There are going to be more roads built. We're going to build international infrastructure here. They are going to build a bank. Even the Ghanaian commercial bank has come to me. They want to build a bank here. They want to open a bank here. There are a lot of investment that are coming. We also are thinking about working with the people from Dubai. I met the king for investment to come here from the Emirates into Liberia. So there will be a lot of possibilities, a lot of activities here that we want to undertake come 2026.
Okay, so Timas, we will take calls, but since the president is still on the international stage, I want to remain there. We take our seat 2026 on the UN Security Council as a non-permanent member.
Yes.
I wonder how our representation going to look like.
Well, I think right now Liberia has been consulted on many issues on the Southern Sudan. Liberia now is a country that has been consulted on international issues. If you see people coming here, Liberia will be taking the seat. Liberia is now going to be on the international forum. That we are going to be the ones working with countries now to solve international problems. That's the role we're going to play.
So let me get to this on the same international scene. Mr. President, what was put into this 3-year
US
States visa? How did you work that out? Because we know it was.
I think you're happy, right?
Of course, I gotta be happy. I'm asking. We've been in this thing for 3 months, maximum 1 year. How did you work it out?
Good relationship, good image. The more people begin to see you that you are credible, we have to also put together our security system, meaning that we got to make sure our passport, our IDs, our security system is in place, that the people have the confidence that also when our people, and that's why we want to build our country so that when our people leave here, they know they can come back to a country. Most people go because they believe greener pastures, and that's why we have to put systems in place that will guarantee health, that will guarantee education, that will guarantee safety. When the people know that you don't look like somebody who can come back home, they will not give you a visa for that time. So the Americans were good enough to begin to trust us, to trust our passport system, to trust our security system, to trust that we are creating a country that people can live in, go to school here, get educated here. You know very well, you heard it when I went to the state with the 5 presidents. You heard what Trump said. I didn't go to school. I went to school in the state, but it was Kansas State University. I went
what
there
did you say to Trump?
I don't know what I said.
That you spoke English.
But you heard what I said. But what I'm saying is that when the people have confidence in your country, that you can live there, people can live there in safety, that people can live there and acquire good education, then they know that you're not going to their country to go and stay. So you got a 3-year visa.
Okay, so let's go back to the callers.
Yeah, we'll take the callers.
The issue of drugs.
Yeah.
And, related issues.
Yeah, before they called, Mr. President, you said something, you gave a hint about the MCC. You said, because in 2015, the amount was 257 million. I wonder what kind of figure we expect from the Americans.
Well, they haven't called figure, but we have an idea what figure it is. So we don't want to be the one to guide, but I tell you,
but you know
it'll be more than.
So you know
it will be more than $300,000 million.
Okay.
So we're talking about something like 500 million.
That's all right. You are guessing.
Mr. President, what is that one challenge your government faces?
In terms of
anything?
Well, the challenge we face is also capable manpower. And I'm emphasizing that because it's about time that we train our young people,
human resource,
to be able to build them up so that they are qualified for the jobs that are going to be available. But beside that, also the matter of integrity. People got to trust you. And we want to make the people to understand that this matters a lot in the international arena. So integrity, this whole matter of corruption, people trying to. But Liberia also, I should be thankful to God that we've been, with all the difficulties, Liberians have proven that when good things happen, they appreciate them and they live with them. And that have made Liberia friendly. People come here. We don't hear much about armed robbery, about all of these things that used to happen. That is setting up for progress.
Okay, this is the Super Morning Show on ELBC Radio. I'm Vafle Kamara T-Max.
Let's take our break and let's put in the calls so that you can talk directly to the president.
Sure, you can call us on 0880-514-096, 0880-514-096, 0775-677-376. We take the first studio round of calls.
Let's emphasize that the
question.
calls are directed to that number. Many a times when we're on the show, people will call our private numbers.
I'm not answering
the
my private
The
number.
numbers announced are the ones that we use. Go ahead.
Okay, let's take this first caller. Good morning. Please leave from the radio if you call, please.
Good morning.
What's your name? Where you call from? Your question.
My name is Peter Yasia. I call you from GSO. I want to tell the president thank you so much for the first appearance on radio. But I got a question. Mr. President, thank you for this service. But you are not told us clearly what 2029 will be like. Let me go back. If everything is set and done, will you steep us? That is what we ask you to run. You will not do it. Thank you.
Okay. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Uncle Fadi, and good morning to the President Joe Boakai. My name is Emmanuel Sano Jr. to join for this case too. Yeah, my question to the President in terms of reconsideration, but you only talking about preparing the debt. I want to know why is playing reconciling in the country by recognizing the past president.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning, Vafle. Let me say good morning to Mr. President. My name is Amos Yuma. I called from Monrovia this morning.
Let's hear you.
Mr. President, I'd like to say thank you so much. Specifically, I'm speaking for the volunteers in the healthcare system. I want to thank your leadership for placing more volunteers on the payroll. In fact, we have been receiving some alerts from across the country. Those volunteers that have been in the system for more than 5 years, they have been recruited on the payroll. I want to thank you for that. We just hope that in the coming years, you can be able to talk to the Minister of Health and Finance to look at the increment for healthcare workers, the nurses, and those casual workers. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. So, Mr. President will respond to the first three questions. Mr. President, the number one question is the president is concerned about 2029, whether you will contest again. You can respond to that.
I'd like to appeal to the Liberians. 2029, notwithstanding, let's concentrate on what happened between now and that time. Let's concentrate on improving the lives of our people. People have been deprived for too long, so let me leave that for now. I appreciate your effort, but I want to say that we should begin to work. I think we are only got 2 years.
Okay.
So let's leave that. Reconciliation is a process. You have to do the first thing first. We have done the first thing. We're going to set up a committee that will go further than that. Meeting people, talking with people, for being able to bring people under one roof to talk about the way forward. So we have just done the first round to make the people know that we're sorry for what happened, to bring the people together to console those who lost their family. Then we move on to the next phase, and that next phase will be directed by a broad section of people as to where we move. Now, the volunteers, their payroll, not only volunteers, this is one country. You work for the same, especially for government, for the same salary forever. I think we need to look at the cost of living to improve, but you can't do that. Our budget just gone to 1.2 billion. We've been stuck between 600 to 700 million. Let's improve the revenue. There are a lot of hidden monies around that we're trying to uncover. A lot of people, business people here have shortchanged us. If you hear a reporter coming from the port, the APM terminal hardly been cheating, let's uncover these things. And we want to use resources, at least at some point in time, to see how we can upgrade the salaries of people who work, not just for government, even for the private sector, because we have to set the bar for the people to know that our people deserve better. So this is something we have to look into, and we must do.
Okay. Let's take another round of calls. Let's hear from this person. Good morning.
Good morning, Wesley.
Your name? Where you called from?
Thank you, Wesley. Good morning, the President and Kelvin Demick. I'm just the Ambassador of the Union of the Interletter Club, number 14. I want to appreciate the President for making this public appearance, at least to speak to the citizens of the country, for them to and have an interactive discourse. I want to ask the President, much appreciation to him firstly for...
Can you just ask the question, please?
Making comment for the question, much appreciation to him.
Yeah, because we don't have time.
Probably, I want to ask the President, what is his stance on the police brutality within King George and within the country?
Okay. Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, this is Richard C. Elliott, and I do join you from Moses Live.
Let's hear you.
I want to appreciate the President for the level of what he's doing in our country. I, from the Southeast to the Pacific Harbor, I want to appreciate him first for the role, the Southeastern role. He used to take us east to come from Harbor, to come to Monrovia around during the rainy season, and that was the dry season. But since he took over, the road is fly road, it has been good. However, I just have two recommendations for the President. The first one has to do with the one currency. Mr. President, today if you go to the supermarket, most of the items at the supermarket, if you ask for the price, it's in US dollars. If you go to the stores, you ask for prices at the stores, they will call USD to you. And if you went to buy something and you didn't have USD, you have it like $20, you will pay more money.
So what is the recommendation?
The recommendation is for us to have a one currency at the Liberian market, like Ivory Coast, like Ghana and Nigeria and other surrounding countries.
Okay.
So
let's hear from this person. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Fabi.
Your name?
My name is Jake Packer. I flew in from Balanceo, Quebec. Let me say good pleasant morning to Madam Nanda President. And, our president was a heaven sent. In the kind of dispensation.
Remember, you ask the question.
Just go to the question, please.
No question. I just want to acknowledge my president to say thank you for what you do for this country.
Okay, he acknowledges that. Thank you so much. Good morning. Oh, please. Oh, sorry. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Let's hear you quickly. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Dan. I'm calling from Secretary.
From Saclay, PA. Go ahead.
Yes. I just want to ask the President one or two questions.
Just one question, please.
Okay, sir. Okay. My first question has to do with the NRA. I want for the President to please investigate NRA, the Custom Department, to FPRC. So I think he said just talk about it.
Okay. Custom Department at LRA. Mr. President, you listened to some of the concerns. Somebody asked me about King George investigation, something.
We've been having problems with King George. I went to King George during the campaign, and I saw King George that even with a big mining thing that's going on there, people didn't have electricity, they didn't have water, and these are things that are unacceptable. We've been having the Minister of Labor, the Minister of Justice, to go there to take care of crisis. We need to nail down in these concessions. And what I'm planning to do is to review all of the concession agreements, because these agreements were working when we were not in government, so we don't know the condition there, but we need to review all of them to see how they work in the interest of Liberia.